Okay, here's a box from Tilta. So this is not a cage, this is actually yet another VND filter system. I seem to make a collection of those lately. Hopefully this will solve finally my issue with VND filter system and being able to do like photo and video with the same system. So let's unpackage this and see what's in there. I actually like that they have the little Tilta. Let's see what. And here it is. Wow, that's a lot of boxes. How many? Oh yeah, right. I got extra stuff. Adapter ring, cover, ring, filter, 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 and a small case. Okay. Relating VND, we have 2 of those. We don't have an even number. Too soon. But at the same time. Yeah, no, I think I didn't mess it up. Blue. Stop it right there. This is the moment where I read on Tilta's website that there is no way of controlling the polarization independently while using the VND adapter. Welcome back. So it's a couple of days after this unboxing that I abruptly cut. And the reason why is that during the unboxing, my face there shows it that I was reading that there is no way of controlling the polarizations while using the VND. And so at the time I was just, no, it's impossible. I must have missed something, right? There was no way I just dropped over $500 Canadian onto a brand new system that I bought almost specifically so I could be able to control the polarization. And then later on that day, I got a confirmation from Tilta. Once the CPL is logged in and it needs to be logged in to use the VND adapter, then you're basically stuck with the angle of polarizations, which is by default. And you cannot touch this except by unscrewing the whole filter from the lens, which is the old way we used to somewhat control the polarization. Now your next question might be, why did I buy this system in the first place if on Tilta's website it mentioned that you cannot control the polarization? Well, I don't remember if it actually did. This Illusion filter was announced at an event earlier this year and it became available for pre-order, I think mid-May, and that's where I pre-ordered mine. And I couldn't find obviously reviews or articles about it. There was only a few clips of journalists and careers being at those events and talking a little bit about the filters, but most of the videos were edited and you didn't really see the full extent of how that filter worked. So basically when I saw it, I had to rely on just Tilta's marketing and their own website. Now, before I get further, I am not saying that Tilta lied or used false marketing. I just want to put that out there because the video mentioned that, well, the system is built on 3 different CPL. And during the videos, they mentioned about cutting flares of water, of cars, all of that with the CPL, because that's what the CPL does. It would have been nice to know straight on that you have to log the CPL, and then after that it becomes a VND, and just a VND, not a VND plus CPL. I just thought that this brand new filter must have this feature, right? It's kind of become this like standardized feature. And so I guess that's on me as well, just to like jump the hoops and just buy it before knowing more about it. I was just again contacted Tilta. They told me this is how it is, and I'm in talk with them, seeing if I'm going to return it or whatever. But I'm on my way right now to the coast, and we're going to take a look at the filter closely, see how it works, see the results, see if there is color cast, those kind of things. Okay, so we have the actual ring, which is how you're going to attach the filter. So those are the pieces that you're going to leave on your lens at all time. And so the first thing we'll do is attach the CPL. I'll try the quarter mist. And now, like just by flexing it like this is just a CPL. This is without. and this is with, and I'm rotating, and I have the polarization. So pretty straightforward. Now, in order to use the VND, I cannot have this CPL just like rotating. So a little dot here, and I have to align it and lock it in place. Okay, and now it's locked. So then you take the VND adapter, which has the blue little marking here. And again, this one needs to be exactly aligned. And I've researched this and I've trained for it. So now I know exactly how to put it. But I'm going to add it here. Okay, and now I have a quarter mist black diffusions and a VND 1 to 5 stop. So now I'm going to choose the 5 to 10, despite the fact it's become quite overcast, and at the core it's a CPL with 5 stop of ND. So I'm going to apply it right here. And now, since I'm at 5, I can have the image just as before, and it's well exposed. So what happened during that test? Well, first I had to figure out how to mount the different filters onto the base ring, which for some reason turned out to be far more difficult than I thought. At the time of recording this video and unboxing the filter in late June, there was no manual, and each filter box did include a small card though with a QR code for support, but it sent me to the main Tilta support page and I could not locate the support page for the Illusion filter. So I had to rely on the marketing images to figure out how to mount each filter and then how to stack them. Once I figured out though and did it a few times, it became more natural, but the initial setup wasn't as intuitive as I expected. Now, to build your system, you first have to install the base ring onto your lens. Technically, this base ring can live on your lens if you are okay with the wider footprint. Then the first filter to mount is a circular polarizer, and depending on your kit, you may have more than one. You have the standard circular polarizer, a circular polarizer with a built-in 1/4 black mist, and these two first allow you to have a VND range between 1 to 5 stops when used with the VND adapter. And finally, you have a circular polarizer with 5 stops of ND, which unlocks the 6 to 10 stops range of VND. To install any of these circular polarizers, or CPL in short, all you have to do is press both buttons and lock the filter onto the base ring in any position. Then you can rotate the filter to achieve the polarization. I first started with the standard CPL and I tested the polarization, and it did what it's supposed to do: cut out the reflections, in this case on the water, darken the sky, and boost the colors. Then I swapped it for the CPL with built-in 1/4 black mist, and once again it performed as expected and produced similar results to something like the Polar Pro Short Stash Everyday filter, which is my go-to filter for photography. Here you can see the difference between the two filters and really see the effect of the mist. I shot backlit on purpose to show the maximum blooming effect. The light is diffuse, and while it is a black mist, there is definitely a softer contrast rolling into the midtones. But the image is still pleasing and comparable to other VND mist filters. Now, to use these CPL base filters as VND filters, you have to mount the VND adapter, which has the blue marking. First, you need to lock the base CPL in place. And this is where the system can become a little bit challenging when you first use it. If you look closely at the base ring, there is a white dot, and when you flip the ring, you can see a small notch. You need to align the arrow with the white dot, and you'll hear a click, and now the CPL is locked in place. This means that from now on, there is no way to control the polarization other than by unscrewing the filter from the base ring. And even then, it will not provide the best results. And if you unscrew it too much, you might run into the issue of finding your filter shattered on the ground. So it is not really recommended. And now we can install the VND adapter with the blue marking, but it must be installed in a specific way to function properly. You need to locate the small white line and place it anywhere between the numbers on the base filter. in this case 1 to 5. The filter should then rotate freely between that range with a hard stop at 1 and another one at 5. And this part was also a little bit challenging the first few times. I would usually line it up with the 1 just to make sure it was properly installed. It got better over time, but you do need to pay attention to the placement of the filter. And in a darker environment, it might be more difficult to do so. But then you could say, why would you use a VND in a darker environment? Fair. Once the filters are properly secured, then they won't fall off. I have held my different lenses in the air by only holding to the filters, and it felt safe. Now, this doesn't mean that you should carry your lens by the filters, but it does show that you should not have any issues of the filters falling down as it bumps against your leg or a tree. And that happened to me a few times with another magnetic filter system that didn't have a lock, so a locking system is definitely a plus. I shot most of the examples with the VND at 5 stops, since the VND will always look the worst when pushed to its maximum range, and I wanted to see how it would perform. The day was made of sun and clouds with intermittent clouds blocking the sky, and I shot using a Canon R6 Mark III in C-Log 2 with a base ISO of 800. If you don't need to shoot everything wide open, you can definitely use the filter at its maximum 5 stops, with your lens aperture ranging between 5.6 and f9. However, if it becomes any brighter, or if you require a shallower depth of field, then you need to use the third CPL available to unlock the 6 to 10 stops range of VND. Since I had purchased an additional VND adapter, I could use this filter system onto 2 lenses at the same time. For example, I could do one system with the 1 to 5 stop VND and the other with the 6 to 10 stop VND, or one with the 1 to 5 stop VND and the other with the 1 to 5 stop plus mist, and so on. I found that having 2 separate fully working filters is definitely a plus, especially if you are constantly running 2 camera systems, or if you want to swap between 2 filters even faster, but it's not necessary. But anyway, back to our 6 to 10 stop VND, because this is where things got, how shall I say it, confusing? As I started to use the darker CPL, I noticed a significant exposure discrepancy that a true color VND should definitely not produce. The filter worked well at 6 and 7 stops, but once I reached 8 stops, that's where things became a little bit odd and inconsistent, and I could start to see the X pattern of cross-polarization. And that's where things got really weird. From 8 stops, I went to 9 stops and the image got darker. So far, so good. But it was too dark, almost jumping 2 stops instead of 1. And then it got the weirdest of all. I went to the maximum range, so 10 stops. And at 10 stops, the image was brighter than it was at 9 stops. And I just couldn't figure out why. At first, I thought I had improperly attached the VND adapter to the CPL. So I removed it, reinstalled it, same result. And then I swapped my VND adapter with the extra VND adapter I had purchased, and again, same result. As you can see, and here it is on full screen, I shot the entire range from 1 to 10 stops at 16mm on a full frame camera. For the 1 to 5 stops, I chose 400 ISO, which corresponds to the base ISO for some cameras shooting in log, and for the 6 to 10 stops, I chose 800 ISO to match the standard base ISO for most cinema cameras, and also my Canon mirrorless camera when shooting in C-Log 2 or C-Log 3. Since I was using a tripod, I corrected the exposure by adjusting the shutter speed. However, to show the full extent of the filters on an uncompressed image, I shot stills in RAW with the white balance locked in. You can clearly see the range and how it started to get all weird at 7 stops. I also tried with a different lens, my main RF 24-70, and shot a sequence at 24mm and then another sequence at 70mm. Going above 50mm definitely helps reduce the cross-polarizations, but between 24 and 50mm you will see it. I also conducted some very rudimentary indoor tests with artificial light and lock white balance. Looking here at Sophie, you can clearly see there is a green shift happening on the 6 to 10 stops VND, along with some vignetting due to the cross-polarization. I then tried a different lens with a standard focal length of 35mm, a prime lens, and got similar results. And every time the 9 stops was darker than the 10 stops. To this day, I can't figure out why. So what is happening? Did I have a faulty CPL 6 to 10 stops? Or is it a flaw in the design? Well, I contacted Tilta about my findings and got the following answer. Hey Robin, yes, you can expect cross-polarization in that range. In most scenarios, outside of bright scenes, it is not as distinguishable, but is present. In very bright scenes? Well, from there, I will leave it up to you to decide if you should indeed use a 6 to 10 stops VND in very bright scenes, or just wait for the light to dim. In the end, what do I think? Well, I am really divided about this product, but here are the pros. Firstly, the filters are really well built. They are made of metals and glass, and the buttons are also made of metals, not plastic, so everything feels sturdy. Secondly, if you already own the Tilta Illusion 95 drop-in filter mount, it can be adapted to the Illusion VND filter. And on that note, it is great to see a manufacturer building new products on an existing ecosystem instead of changing it every single time and making new products from the same brand incompatible with each other. For example, changing the base ring so that the newer filters are incompatible with the previous generation. Next, you can use these filters for both photography and videography. The standard CPL is a great tool for landscape photography to color reflections on water, boost colors, and in the case of the CPL Black Mist, it's a great filter to bloom you highlights, for example for portraits. And finally, the price. Starting at $159 US, the Creator Kit is somewhat affordable for a magnetic modular filter kit, especially compared to the competition. And by the way, here's what you get in the Creator Kit. 177 and 82 magnetic filter adapter rings, so you can use this system onto two different lenses right out of the box. One magnetic circular polarizer filter, one magnetic VND adapter to transform your kit into a VND, a filter front cap and back cap, and finally, a soft carrying case. I think it's a good kit if you are using a camera with a base ISO of 400 and don't really need to shoot everything wide open. And like I mentioned, the 1 to 5 stops VND works quite well. And then you have the Ultimate Kit, which is the one I got. It costs $279. It includes everything from the Creator Kit, plus the circular polarizer with 5 stops of ND to reach the 6 to 10 stops of VND, and the circular polarizer with a built-in 1/4 black mist. Now, let's go over what needs improvement with the Illusion system. As I mentioned earlier, there is a small learning curve when using these filters and properly aligning them to unlock the VND capabilities. Not a big deal, but I do think that including a manual in the box would not hurt. Secondly, and I'm sure you know it by now, but there is no way to control the polarizations when using this filter kit as a VND. And I stopped how many times I've said this throughout the video, but for me it is a real deal breaker because I do need this feature. But I guess the biggest issue with this system is the results I got when using the 610 stops VND. Because in all honesty, while this filter is marketed as a 110 stops VND system, it is more in reality of a 1 to 7 stops, because I don't see how filmmakers can utilize this 8 to 10 range stops when it produces such uneven results. Overall, what I learned the most from this experience is that I will never jump the gun again on a pre-order without first seeing third-party reviews or articles about the product, especially when the brand's marketing materials are so limited. Looking back, I still don't think that Tilta lied or anything of the sort about that product. On the other hand, I do think there was a lack of fully showing how the filter kit performed. Yes, there were some images of a lake, I think, on the webpage showing the 1 to 10 range, but it felt more like an overlay instead of the scene being shot throughout the range of the filter. Furthermore, aside from a few reels of the product being shown at the Tilta booth at some of those photo and video gear events earlier in May, there was not much else available. In the end, I decided to return the Illusion VND system, and this means that I am yet again in the active hunt for a VND and CPL filter system that meets all of my needs. Now, I do have another filter in mind, but that's a story for another day. In the meantime, thank you for watching. I hope you got something out of this video. I included a link to the Tilta Illusion VND system in the description below if you want to check it out. And by the way, this is not sponsored. Finally, don't forget to like and subscribe so I can do more of those videos in the future, and I will see you next time. Probably with another filter. Bye for now.